Hey Exiles, Exile Phoenix here with a build guide, and I wanted to make a build guide on minions because of the big change that came through yesterday, and that is that if you move out of an area, the revival timer does not go up on minions anymore, and they respawn next to you all of a sudden. And this has been a major change to any minion build guide, and as you've seen in the highlights, it has carried me all the way to doing bosses, even the pinnacle bosses. I've completed Arbiter 2 and Xesht 4 and all of those major pinnacle bosses, and it's been really easy as well. Sometimes I skip mechanics entirely or phases, and I thought that I would share this with you. Alright, let's not waste any more time. I don't want to waste any more time of yours as well. Let's move on. Okay, first things first, I would be taking you through the gear, and then the gems, and then the Ascendancy and the skill tree. Alright, let's go through the items first. So the higher the level of all minions, the higher your damage will be. So try to get as maximum as possible. This scepter here costs me 40 vines. It's also because it has increased damage, critical hit chance, attack, cast speed, and level to minions. The recommended spirit level is 170. On this, you can, if you get more, it's always good to get more. If you've got the currency to get it, you can get it. What you're looking for here is increased spirit, increased damage of allies, increased critical hit chance of allies, and the level of all minion skills. And it has to be an Omen Scepter because it gives level 18 Malice, which when enemies come into your presence, they have critical weakness, and you apply about 8 critical weaknesses on them, which means plus 50 critical hit chance for all minions. It's on percentage based, it'll straight away add 50 to the current hit chance. Next would be an energy shield helmet with +2 level of all minion skills and a high roll on life. I would explain why we need life, but we are energy shield based, and I would explain why we need life in our energy shield base. The shield is best in slot because it gives you spirit and chaos resistance. Chaos resistance is very important for this build. This is because of our Ascendancy. Ascendancy converts 20% of physical damage taken as chaos. I will go through that later on. This is best in slot for your amulet. You have to allocate Deadly Swarm, whatever amulet you get. It gives you increased crit chance on minions, and minions do increase damage. Now, why I have used this and why it is best in slot is because it gives you +4 to level of all fire skills. Our skeletal snipers are fire skills, so they get +4 and increases damage. If you do not have the currency to get +4, please get a +2. And if you do not have resistances, get a +2 level of all minion skills with a rare amulet with resistances. That is the best possible way you can get, maximize the damage. For your body armor, now this body armor was a little bit costly because it's got 2 rolls of resistances, spirit, and a very high roll on life, and also the spirit implicit. If you do not have the currency to get something like this, I would suggest you use Ghostwrite. Ghostwrite is a unique which converts 50% of your life, maximum life, to energy shield, and you get a shitload of energy shield. If I put the Ghostwrite on right now, I would have around 8,000 energy shield. This is good until you get something with spirit and maximum life. We are not looking for armor. We do not want armor. But the implicit spirit only comes in shaman metals, expert shaman metals. So it's best that you get something like this later on when you have the currency. Resistances, both rings on that I have equipped, they have not been upgraded ever since I hit Acts. Sorry, the end of Acts. That is endgame. I have to upgrade these ones, but I have been able to complete all the content without any difficulty with these rings. So I was just holding it off, right? Now you need resistances, dexterity, and some life if you can get. The other ring also has some chaos resistance, strength, and some life. Moving on to the gloves, we need energy shield, life, and resistances. Intelligence would be nice because all your gems need intelligence, a high roll intelligence. So it's best you get intelligence if you can, but you need maximum life and maximum energy shield, and it has to be an energy shield based glove because you survive on energy shield. Okay. Belt, again, it's a trash belt with some life and some resistances, nothing more here. Now this handle is important because you get maximum fire resistance. If you have another way of getting maximum fire resistance, maybe through, say, through jewels, then you can get them. But this is just easier for me, so I got some maximum lightning resistances and fire resistances, and 30% increased movement speed. Now I could not find anything with life on it because it gets really costly when it comes to energy shield based boots with 30 increased movement speed. So this has been something that has helped me. I've got quite a little bit of movement speed here, and it's pretty good. Okay. The life flask, you need something that gives you a lot of life recovery in case your energy shield goes down. You still have about 1067 life left, so you can regen this quickly. Mana flask, the highest roll that you can get on a mana flask within 1.90 seconds or less than 2 seconds. Okay. Now the charm, I would suggest that you put in a poison charm, this one here, antidote charm, which grants you immunity to poison, but I am using chaos resistance because my chaos isn't kept, and it's not much of a problem, but then again, you need the chaos resistance cap on this build because of the conversion you take. Okay, that's it for the items. Let's move on to the second hand slot, which I failed to mention. You need to get a power siphon wand. It doesn't matter what mods it has, but you need to get a power siphon wand because you would be putting power siphon. Well, I have put it on my left right click, and the race shield comes from my shield, ground skill race shield, and I put that on my left click. Now, why this is important? Instead of pressing X to swap, right? You can press power siphon and it'll automatically swap. You right click and it'll swap to power siphon. You left click, it'll swap to race shield. It's pretty easy. So I will tell you why I have power siphon. Okay. Now let's move on to the gems. Now malice comes from your scepter. You definitely have to get this scepter. Race shield comes from your shield. Power siphon from your secondary wand here. Okay. Now, Infernal Hellhound comes from your Ascendancy. You get the fourth socket when you hit level 80. You get the fifth socket when you hit level 90. It is important that you put the support gems in this order. Meat shield first, because it gives more maximum life. Now this is because the ignite that is done by Infernal Hounds, it does the magnitude of fire damage is equal to 20% of against maximum life. Then we need Fire Death because it always ignites enemies, and then they have a 60% chance to explode, which means that more clear. Corrosion, it breaks armor equal to the 80% of poison damage dealt, but to poison enemies you need Envenom, and it does 50% chance to poison on hit. So the poison damage and the corrosion breaks enemy armor. And the final one would be Minion Instability. This is for clear. They deal, so the minion explodes as soon as it reaches 35% of its life, and explodes dealing 15% of maximum life. This is pretty good because it has maximum life of about 27,651, so 15% of that damage is dealt all around it. Next will be Skeletal Reavers. Now there is a deck here that I have found. With bossing, this is very helpful. So Skeletal Reavers, you need maximum of 4 sockets. Splinter, they break armor with according to 15% of damage dealt. And then there's Break Posture. So supported skills apply Daze when fully breaking armor. Now what Daze is, when enemies are dazed, they have 50% more stun buildup. Now stun buildup is based on the damage that you do. With Daze, it just increases the stun buildup with everything that hits it. The next one would be Discombobulate. I think I said that right. So they also increase Daze buildup according to the physical damage dealt. And the last one, the Demolisher, they break 40% more armor. Okay, now why do we need Daze buildup and armor buildup, armor break? It's because your skeletal snipers are your main source of damage. What you need on the skeletal snipers is 5 sockets, 5 separate sockets definitely. You need Martial Tempo, Heft increases their maximum physical damage, Feeding Frenzy increases 30% more damage, Exploit Weakness, because every time the boss armor gets broken, they consume that broken armor to do 50% more damage. Now why this is really nice is, every time that the enemies have broken armor, as in the bosses have broken armor, the snipers consume that broken armor and deal 50% more damage, and while that is going on, Skeletal Reavers and Summon Infernal Hellhound with their support gems destroy or break the boss's armor within 2 seconds again. And that way, they get dazed for additional 6 seconds. Now, at the end of this guide, I will be putting down videos on my mapping and on my bossing with full videos for all of you to see. And you would be able to see that the bosses are dazed most of the time, and they get stunned really quickly because we are breaking armor, we are consuming the armor, and then applying Daze, and applying Daze all the time increases the stun buildup. So this is very important for bossing. And we have Execute. Execute is as soon as they reach low life, which is 35%, the bosses, our skeletal snipers do 40% more damage to them, which is a huge increase. Now without these two, Exploit Weakness and Execute, and it was showing the damage per second. Now right now we are doing 12,615 damage per skeletal sniper. Let's put down the offerings and have a look. It increases to 32,000, right? See that? 32,000. I can't stay on that skill because my rage is building up. Okay, now 32,000, right? And there's also the attack that they do, that is the command skill for these skeletons. which is gas arrow. What we're looking for is explosion. They do 95,100 damage on explosion. Now how they explode is, when we put down the gas arrow like this, the gas arrow will increase, and as soon as the Hellhound goes and ignites an enemy, this will detonate, dealing this amount of damage, 95,100. Now this 95,100 also increases with Pain Offering, but unfortunately I am not allowed to go there. It gets really hard to go there because of my rage buildup, because the damage is consistently changing. Now this is the bossing setup. For mapping and for breaches mainly, you need to take off exploit weakness and execute and put in scattershot and fork. Now what fork does is, as soon as one of the projectiles hit an enemy, it divides into two and hits other enemies around it. I've tried using chain. Chain does not work because it decreases the damage altogether. But in this case, it does less damage after hitting the first enemy, which is very important. Scattershot lets you do 2 additional projectiles for each skeletal sniper. Why I use scattershot is because they shoot arrows. They shoot 3 arrows, and also 4 rares. You can just blow them up with 3 command arrows. Just 3 of these, and all of the rares will get blown up in a second. Now this is because with scattershot, let's take a look at the explosion damage. It reduces to 60,000, but we're throwing down 3 of these per minion, so it's 60,000 into 3. Now this is not very good with bossing because you need to break the armor as well as have more damage, because we will not be using gas arrow as much during boss fights, right? So that's why scattershot and fork only comes while in maps. You can kill map bosses with this setup, but if you are going into Citadel bosses or Pinnacle bosses, you should be changing to execute and exploit weakness. Map bossing you can do with this setup. Now Pain Offering is the one that gives the minions more damage. It gives 30% increased attack speed and 49% more damage. Now we can increase this effect by putting in Ablation. Ablation sacrifices 15% of our life. See this? It goes away. And but it gives you 30% more increased damage from the Pain Offering. Persistence is so that they last longer, and Rage grants minions Rage. Rage is basically more damage for all your minions. And then we pair Pain Offering up with Bone Offering. We need 2 offerings. Oh, I missed Dance Macabre. Okay, so with Pain Offering again, we have to put down Support Gem Dance Macabre. This helps to get 30% increased buff effect, and also they will deal 30% more damage. But the only downside is that it will apply to 2 of your skeletal minions. You put it down, 2 of the minions goes away. So try to aim this at the skeletal reavers because they will always be in front of you. So when you look at it, if you aim here, right, the skeletal reavers, these dudes with the axes, they will always be near the boss. Everybody else will be behind, so it's easier for you to aim. You put this down, 2 of your minions get impaled, right? And with Bone Offering, you would be sacrificing another minion, but this does, it increases your life regen, it has more effect, and it has more effect, right? Because you need the life regen all around it, and the upside of this is that you can take 1 free hit. Doesn't matter what the boss or what the mob is doing, even if it is the hardest hitting shot in the game. Say for example the flick on Xesht, the breach boss, you can tank it because this is 1 free hit. As soon as you put this down, you will get a shield, and it says that the next hit is absorbed. All damage is absorbed, right? Now we need Font of Blood to get the regen going on for your minions. Now, for example, as soon as I put down Pain Offering, our life would go down 15%. And then with Bone Offering, you can quickly regain it back. See that? And then put it at, and it's already full health. It's pretty easy. Okay. Vulnerability is the curse that we'll be putting down. We need this because the hits that are done by your skeletons, they completely ignore 8,114 armor from the boss, or whatever you're hitting, or whatever you have cursed with. This is very important because this is what keeps the breaking and the dazing and exploit weakness gem. Consuming armor break keeps it going, so you need this. Now, I've been testing with Hex Bloom. Unfortunately, it does not work. I should be taking this out. But you need Curse Ground. Curse Ground is that as soon as you put it down, it will stay there around that area. No matter what happens, it will always be that area for a little while. And then it's Ritualistic Curse. We need more increased area of effect, but it will take some time to load up. But since it's a Curse Ground effect, it doesn't matter if it takes time to load up. Okay. Now the main part of this is the blink. Now we do not have enough spirit to blink. That is why we need Power Siphon. As soon as you change to Power Siphon, your blink becomes activated, and then your dodge roll becomes the blink. Right? Now how you can do this is by clicking on this button here. By 1 and 2 it means the weapon set. You put the tick on 2, and you go up to your skeletal snipers and change the number 2 to 0. You can plus or minus. See here, you can plus or minus. Put the second one to 0, which means that all the spirit reserved for your skeletal snipers will be taken out. Now this also means that you can resummon them later on, right? If they're stuck behind the door, which they usually do, you can press Power Siphon, go to the other side of the door, and then resummon them, like that. I'll do that again, like that, see? And it's pretty easy, and also as soon as you press Power Siphon, you blink. Now why do we specifically need Power Siphon? I will show you why we need Power Siphon. Now Power Siphon, it culls enemies. As soon as you see enemies with a blue kind of orb on their head, you click on Power Siphon on them, and it will cull enemies. By culling, it means it will instantly kill enemies below a threshold. This is very important because we do not have any source of culling. Okay. So blink is set, Bone Offering I've spoken about. Now Skeletal Storm Mage, we need one of these Skeletal Storm Mages. This is because they shock enemies. By shock, it increases the damage up to 20%, and it lasts 4 seconds, right? So it increases the damage of the enemy that is shocked by 20% or less. So Conduction support will give it 100% more shock chance, and then Stormfire will keep the shock on an ignited enemy forever until it dies. This is important because the Hellhound is always igniting enemies. And then the last one is Causing Current. This also means that the shocking hit on one enemy would go around 2.5 meters to everybody else, but this is a 50% chance, but it's really good. Skeletal Clerics, you need 2 of these. This is because they heal and revive your fallen skeletons very quickly, so it's important that you have 2 of these. With Ingenuity, cooldown recovery, because the cast that they do, you see them raising their hand here, see, that has a cooldown. And then with last gasp, so that they survive another 4 seconds. And then with arcane tempo, because they need to cast more. Now, command enrage is on the skeletal reavers. This means that they would be gaining rage, but they would be losing life. So what these skeletal clerics would do is, when they're losing their life, they would be healing them. Watch this. They'll start casting like crazy now. See that? The skeletal reavers are getting healed, and they would last more. Okay. Now the last thing is your main source of defense. This is Grim Feast. When your minions die, or when your minions kill things, you get these remnants all around you, which increases your energy shield. Like in this case, I have 8,145, and now you can see these remnants here. Right? You pick them up, it'll increase your energy shield to double of what you have. You need this with clarity. If you have the spirit to put in 10 more. Okay, now the number of skeletons is based on the number of spirit that you have, but what is mandatory is you need Infernal Hellhound, which is free. You need 2 skeletal reavers. I would keep it at 2 until you get enough spirit. You need 1 skeletal storm mage and 2 skeletal clerics, and all other spirit you can dump it into skeletal sniper. And then when you have enough spirit, like how I have about 503. When you have about 500, you can go ahead and put in 2 more skeletal reavers, because this is good while bossing. Okay, let's move on to the last part of this video, Ascendancy and the skill tree. And then as soon as I am done with my guide, there will be videos to my bossing and delirium maps, delirious maps. The videos are of 48% delirious effect and 68% delirious effect, and also a Citadel boss with 48% delirious effect, which is quite easy. But the delirious effect decreases the damage that you do to them, due to enemies. So when it comes to 68, it takes a little bit of time, but you can have a look, and I would be posting all the boss fights that I've had at the end of this video. Okay, Ascendancy, you need to grab Infernal Hellhound first. It ignites enemies around it, and also it takes 20% of the damage that you take, which is very important for you to be tanky. The next point would be Altered Flesh. 20% of cold and 20% of lightning will be taken as fire damage. This is important because you can dump all the maximum resistances into your fire damage, get up to 80%, and you would be taking less damage. Now, right now, I have 71% cold, which means that I have not even capped this, but I have not been dying at all. Next would be grabbing this node here, Bedat's Will. It reserves 25% of life, but it will give you more spirit per 25%. Sorry, 25 maximum life. This is why you need life on your energy shield gear. And then the last node would be +1 maximum energy shield per 8 maximum life, but it reserves 25% life. Now I have reserved 50% of my life, but I am getting a shitload of energy shield and a shitload of maximum spirit because I have 2,135 life. It's based on your maximum life and not the reduced one. Okay. Now this is not a leveling guide, so I would expect that you be at least 90, 92. I am 92, but you can have a look at this, right? Okay, let's do this. So you go here, the first node would be increase spell damage. Please follow this line here with minion life, and then increase damage and cast speed, and then you go here, come down here, get the revival on minions and energy shield, go up here, cast speed, minion life, attack speed and movement speed, and then accuracy. Not here. Now you go to this jewel here. This jewel grants me 2% increased attack speed and cast speed per the notable passive skills. You don't need this. I have put down just to get a little bit more damage. If I take these jewels out, my damage would decrease a little bit more. I'll show you if I can take them out. Okay, let's take them out. I've taken all of them out. Let's go and see the damage. So it's 7,090. Let me put in the bossing, which I was showing before. It is 11,000, right? So when I put this on, it gives me 12,000 damage there. So it's not much. So, but I have them because I have them, and it's easier to get more damage, right? So I'll put them here. I'll put this here. Okay. After that, you go up here, go all the way up here, get this node. It gives the minions critical hit chance and attack speed. Again, minion critical damage bonus and damage bonus, and energy shield here, intelligence here, and then there's another jewel socket with increased critical hit chance and accuracy and maximum energy shield. Okay, now you go here, get this node because it gives +1 to all maximum elemental resistances and some energy shield. Go up here, minions have 12% reduced reservation. This only means that the spirit that you reserve for each minion would decrease. If this does not work at first when you grab this node, you need to deactivate all your minions, click on them, deactivate them to 0, all of them, and then put them back on, and it will work properly. Again, over here I have a jewel socket with attack and cast speed and critical hit chance. These are fairly cheap, probably about 15 exols if it's a good roll, 20 to 15 exols, so you can always get them. Come down here, grab this node, 20 to all elemental resistance for minions, 25% increased damage, increased maximum life, and then there's the same sapphire jewel that I had before. It's pretty similar. Critical hit chance and attack speed. Now we come here. This is a critical hit chance node, and again crit damage bonus. You come down here, make your energy shield have more effect from your helmet, and then you come down here, you get maximum energy shield as stun threshold. I'll take this gem out because it's confusing. Now you can have a look. Okay. So stun threshold is based on your energy shield because you have more energy shield. If you do not grab this, you would constantly be getting stunned by enemies because you have a lower health pool. You need to grab this. It's 100% needed chance, right? And then you come here, more energy shield, but life reduction, that's alright. And then you come here, minions have all the resistances and revive 25% faster. Now 20% increased area of effect and increased cooldown recovery is not important because we don't need the area of effect for gas arrow, so it's not needed. And then you go here, get the maximum energy shield, and then grab another jewel with increased critical damage bonus and increased damage. Okay, now with jewels, what you're looking for is exactly the main priority would be to get critical damage bonus. This is costly. The second would be minion deals increased damage. Third would be increased attack and cast speed. And the fourth would be 18 increased critical hit chance, in that order. Okay. I think I have gone through the entire tree, and I hope this has helped. It had helped me to complete almost half of my atlas. Let's take a look at this. I have done all 4 deliriums solo. I have done the first one, because I could only find one audience with the king. I have done that. I have done all 4 of my breach lords, and then I have done all of my T18 maps, and then I have done 2 difficulties of Arbiter with this setup. Now I have not died in a long time, so I am leveling up properly. I hope this helped, and if you have any questions, please comment down below, and I would be glad to help. The link to this build guide would be in the description below as well, and please take a look at the mapping videos and the bossing videos at the end of this guide, and I hope it helped. And please like, subscribe, and follow so that I can put down more videos and reach out to you guys, and you guys can reach back to me. Thank you so much for your time, and see you in Reclast.